Mattifying, thanks so much for joining me for this Get Ready With Me featuring my 2022 luxury beauty makeup favorites. In a previous video, I shared all of my favorites, and in this video, I will show you application of the look I had on in that video. So it's a Get Ready With Me, so let's go ahead and get started. I've already prepped my skin with all of my skincare. If you want to see that video, I will be filming that very soon. Skincare favorites of 2022, and I also thought I'd kind of pare it down. So if you're not a skincare maximalist like I am, I can give you my abbreviated version of my true essentials. I also wanted to share my eyebrow routine because I had a question. Since I went through the 90s, I overplucked my eyebrows at that time. So I don't really do anything to shape my brows. I just let them grow. But then if there's anything stray like underneath, that's where I'll pluck. So I'm just gonna quickly remove those. And it's very rare that I have to do this, but there are always a couple strays, nothing too bad though. So there's one right here. I'm just gonna leave it. It's a little bit out of place, but it's close enough. I'm just gonna leave it. I think that's the key, just to not really remove much of anything unless it's really out of place. And so I'm not touching anything in between. I'm not touching anything above. Rarely do I take any hair out from above. It's just like if it's down here. And that's all I do to my brows. I only do that. I only remove the hairs maybe every 3 or 4 months. So I haven't done that in a long time. Let's go ahead and start. I'm going to take the Sheer Glow Rose Face Tint here and apply that just under the eye very gently. There's some nice hydration here as well. Then we'll go in with the Chantecaille Anti-Pollution Mattifying Cream right in the center. You've seen me do this so many times this year and last year. In fact, if you don't really enjoy foundation or even concealer, you might just want to go in with something like this Rose Glow Face Tint, like on the high points of the cheeks, under the eyes if you want, and then just go in with mattifying cream in the center if you want to mattify a little bit, and then you can be done. That's for the very no makeup, actually no makeup. If you just want to address the skin and just brighten under the eyes a little bit, I think that's a really quick way to go. Then we got the Sublimage L'Essence de Teint in B40. That's one full pump right there. Take my Shiseido brush, starting in the center, just because I want to deposit the most there. And I usually will do just about one pump, but let me build this up for you today, just so you can see how it looks. So I've got another pump here. So that's another thing I love about this foundation. You can build it up like this without becoming cakey. We've got the Luggage What a Fresh Complexion Touch for my concealer. Under eye concealer specifically, we have B30. I'm gonna take this brush here, the Pro Concealer brush by, not Chanel, by Sephora. It's the one that looks like this, made specifically for the under eye area. So usually I use the brush that comes with the product, the Complexion Touch, but let's go in with this today. Okay, yeah, so this is the first time I'm trying this. I knew that the other brush would work, and I suspected this might be better because it's created specifically for this eye area. Yeah, that's lovely under the eye. This does a lovely job under the eye. It's really soft as well. And a little goes a long way with this brush. Seems like I didn't have to add very much product at all for it to just kind of distribute it. I'm just bringing it up here. Really nice and smooth. It's okay too if it goes on this cheekbone area for me because it kind of lifts that area anyway. Of course, let's go in with the La Prairie in number 4, just 3 dots. And that's it. Just gonna tap that. So I feel like when I do this, I don't need very much coverage under the rest of my eye because it's really right here. You see that kind of tired look. If it's deeper right in that area. We've got the Chantecaille eye base. This is in medium. Just want to even out the eyelid area first. And it seems like less is more with this one. If I put too much, it does have the tendency to just gather a little bit, especially on this eye. I do have that. No matter how good the primer is, it will always gather a little bit here. Must be the anatomy of my eyelid, I think, because it doesn't happen on the other side. So less is more here with this primer. So you can see how nicely that foundation did because I barely need concealer on my dark spots there. Of course, so we will use the CdP Concealer in Mocha just for extra perfecting. And I do love the brush that goes with this, the CdP Concealer brush. So I am testing out some new concealer brushes for the face, but still does a really nice job. And then also in the outer corner, we'll revisit that in a little bit after eye makeup as well, but just for now, a little bit in that outer corner. Let's go ahead with bronzer. We're using the Chanel Le Beige Soleil Tan in medium bronze. This is the one that they came out with that's in between the two shades, the lighter and the deeper. It's in 392. I've got a rougher number 4 brush here. I'll apply that right under the cheekbone, quite high. So you can see right here, kind of where it comes in, and that's where I'm adding the bronzer, just right in that area. Very, very close. I don't know if you saw how it just lifts that area as well. It's a little bit higher. You can almost see that transformation right there. Now I do take it down and then just, I'm gonna apply it my forehead. Always helps to bring this back to its original shade, but this time evened out in terms of the tone because I do have some slight discoloration on my forehead as well. Again, really close to that very, not very, but the prominent part of my cheekbone, right underneath that. So not too low. Of course, we've got the Perfect Blur Powder by Chantecaille. It might be my most used product of the entire year amongst any category. I just love this powder. Evens out everything, smooths the texture, does a little bit of extra work for me in terms of color correcting my dark spots. Then we've got the Chantecaille Perfect Blur Glow Powder. I'm gonna lift the bone structure here, just right up in front. So it just pops, and it does do a nice job of blurring as well. Yeah, really nice job. Brows, I think I've lost every implement included in here except for the little angled brush. I'm not sure where everything went. One thing, I mean, I do like that it's included and I do use them, except when I lose them, I can't find them. Just gonna build the shape with this, going across the bottom, then lifting the excess product up like this. So depending on the tool or the implement, I apply it differently. The little sponge, I apply it just kind of across first, and then I'll turn it on its end and then just be more specific, more targeted. But this one I start almost opposite. I'm more targeted at first and then I'll just buff in the material. This is most likely for the wax portion of this, which I don't use as much. I use the powder more than anything else. That's why I like this. It's very targeted, but still soft at the same time. Sometimes when it's soft, you don't get that definition, or if you get the definition, it's not soft. So you get definition and softness with this brow powder. Okay, we're gonna go ahead in with the DIOR Show Onset Brow, and the reason I use this instead of the wax is because this gives it a little bit more body. I can get the hairs to come away from my face a little bit, so I get some more three-dimensional volume. So just going in the opposite direction against the grain like this. So they're standing away from the skin. Like that. I'm going to do that with the other side and just going to let that sit for a second there. And then I'm just going to go over here and just move the ends in the direction I want them to go in. So I've got the Tisse Rivoli palette. Just love the finish of this. I love that it's got a cooler tone, it's still neutral though. I think it can work for so many people. So we're gonna go in with this. Let's see. I haven't really thought about how I'm gonna use this because it works every time. Let's take this rougher brush. I'm gonna take this shade right here and let's apply that all over the lid. going to take that underneath as well. This is the number 26 Rephr, same color. Oh, this was the number 33, by the way. This one that's a little bit pointy. This is a little bit larger, so I'm going to smoke this out a little bit. Okay, let's take this Rephr number 15 brush. I'm going to go in with this deeper shade right there. And put that in the crease. Number 36 brush by Rephr. This shape right here looks like this. Yeah, this one's very similar to the number 6.5 by Ray Morris. Very similar to that. If I could find it, I would show you, but it reminds me a lot of that. Let's take the number 14 here. I'm gonna go in with the deepest shade. Right in the corner. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. Just blend that in between. I'm going to take this lightest shade now, go in the center of the lid. I'm going to take this brush again, the number 15 here. I'm going to take this shade and I'm going to just blend that a little bit. I'm going to take this shade right here and then put that a little bit higher up, just above that. Okay, a little bit more of that lightest shade just so we can get that to pop a little bit more in the front. So then it just looks like dimension. It doesn't look like separate colors. It just looks like that part of the eye is coming out a little bit more. So then I get at this shape to the eye versus more on a plane. More three-dimensional. But again, it doesn't look like another color. It just looks like just various intensities of the same tone. I love this BK Beauty 208. It's the smallest, teeniest, tiniest angled brush, but I'm going to use it to use this color as an eyeliner. So starting here. I'm going to use this to also dot underneath, very close to the lash line. Connect the two. Okay, so you can see why I love this palette so much. It's so easy to use, really pretty. I'm going to use this just because I picked this one as my favorite one, but I think any of the ESUM dual-sided pencils will work. In fact, I would probably want to pull for one that's got more purple in it, just to show you how this neutral one, if you're going to pick one, will work with pretty much anything. So this is a black on this side, so we're going to tightline with that. And then I'm going to take this side, which is the platinum, and I'm going to put that in the waterline. So you already know I'm going to go in with the Faux Longest Lash Mascara by Chantecaille, and then I'll be right back. And I just cleaned up with, of course, Clé de Peau in the corners there. I'm going to soften this. I mean, it's already quite soft, but I thought we could use this glow powder for just right above the eyeshadow and under the brow. Kind of soften everything here. It's for more of an airbrushed finish. Let's go in with blush. Let's use this Blush and Blend brush by Grwm. I'm gonna just apply it directly. This is a Victoria Beckham Cream Blush in Major. Just adding a bit of dimension first. Let's take this number 5 brush by Rephr and then Valentino number 9. I love combining a cream and a powder just to get a little bit more depth, but still keep it nice and seamless. Let's just take a little bit of the Buff and Blur powder just to perfect. buffing the perimeter. Bring a little glow back. Take this Victoria Beckham highlighting balm in Pearl. A little bit too far forward here on this side. Let me just powder. Do a little down the bridge of the nose. Let's use the rougher number 21 brush. I have this one, but it's so small I don't think it's gonna do anything. There's this one, number 34, but look how tiny it is. So let's use this, even though it's a little bit wider. I think I can get it in right here. Yeah, the 21. This teeny tiny one is the 34, this little one. But I'm using 21 here. Okay, let's go in with Chantecaille's Rock Rose. Just put on my Chanel jacket here and we're gonna add fragrance. So we've got the Baccarat Rouge 540. This is my power suit of fragrances. It just is the most put together, most sophisticated classic fragrance. I love it so much that whenever I have a more important thing to attend, I will wear this fragrance. And this is the final look. As always, let me know what your application tips are for any of these products that you have. And let me know what I should be trying in 2023. I'm looking forward to the new year, new makeup. Let's see what else they come out with. I'll be comparing them to the products that I loved this year. Of course, you know, I love my holy grails that last year after year after year, so it takes quite a bit to bump those out of place. So looking forward again to seeing what we have in 2023. But that's it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.